Many know me as Vice, the DJ collecting travel miles around the world, rocking clubs night after night. What you may not know is that I'm a native Angelino, self-described foodie, people connector, and enjoy driving new friends to experience the come up on some good tacos in the city I proudly call home. From the valley to the west side to everywhere in between, this is Electric Taco. Electric Taco. My man, Travis Barker, it's finally going down.
What's good?
Thank you for jumping in. I'm not gonna front and act like we weren't hanging out earlier because you just kicked my ass in a workout. and you're the first one to say, yes, I'll do Electric Taco, but we're gonna work out before we grub.
Yeah, it makes sense, right? We gotta earn our food.
When was the moment where you're like, this is what I wanna do, I don't wanna do anything else? Like this is plan A, B, C, and D, right?
I wanted to be a pro skateboarder. But I figured out at a young age I was way better at playing drums than skateboarding. Like there was a half pipe in my neighborhood and they wouldn't let me skate it unless I learned Master of Puppets by Metallica from front to back.
Wow.
So that was like my gateway to be able to hang with all the cool kids was like, oh, I could play Master of Puppets from beginning to end and I'd learn it and then I'd be able to go skate the half pipes.
Smart move to not go the pro skateboarder route.
Yeah, man, I was not nearly as good at skateboarding as I was drums. And then, yeah, I think around high school when I figured out my friends were starting to play guitar, starting to make beats, play music, and I found my friends had similar interests. They were starting to learn instruments, so I was like, damn, I've been knowing how to play drums since I was 4.
Right.
This is awesome. And then it was just, learning Beastie Boys records, learning, punk rock records, learning hip hop, everything.
Was there no genres to you at that moment?
I was always happily confused. So I felt the pressure. Pops was like, you need to be a man, you need to work X amount of hours a week. And so I had just gotten a job, man. Jobs are hard to find, man, especially, unless you have like some skill. So it was like Target warehouse, and I was so stoked. I finally got like the ill job that paid more than $4.25 at the time. And then that same time, my homie Noel hit me and he's like, man, I think you're making a big mistake. I think you're a really talented drummer. And I think you'd regret it if you didn't choose to play music and you took that job. So I said, fuck it, I'm gonna take my buddy's advice. And he kind of gave me this super positive PMA speech. And I moved to Laguna, slept on his floor, one studio apartment, played in a band, and I became like a drum whore, a drum escort. I'd just play for anybody for money. I think around 15, I got my first tattoo, and I had figured out, my dad had said something to me that resonated real tough with me. Is he said, man, you can't be getting tattooed because you're never gonna have something to fall back on. You'll have all these job stoppers, and you'll be fucked. And I was like, oh shit, that's exactly what I need to do. All I want to do is play music. So I started tattooing my body because I didn't want a way out. I didn't want a plan B. I just wanted to play music, however big or small. And I mean, I think skateboard videos really spoke to me because there would be, rap shit on there, and then there would be punk rock shit on there. There would be everything.
I heard you like to get down with jazz bands too.
Yeah, I grew up playing jazz. Like at 4,
I could never imagine. That's one thing I could never imagine. Like, oh, that's jazz band. So it's Travis playing drums as a jazz band.
Yeah, I mean, it taught me so much. I was touring in a band called the Aquabats, and we were actually opening for Blink, and their drummer, something happened. They had like a fallout, and he basically peaced out on them, an hour before the show, 45 minutes before the show, and they come to my room and they're like, dude, we got to do something. Can you learn 20 songs? I said, yeah, fuck it. Show me what songs. And luckily I had been kind of watching their set every night, just showing, support. You go out and watch the bands that play after you or before you. And I played that show that night, and they were like, fuck, we've never sounded better. We'd really love for you to keep playing with us. Kind of like, you have a drummer. It's almost like you meet a hot girl and she has a boyfriend, and she's like, yeah, I want to be with you. And you have to go like, well, you already have an old man. You know what I mean? So I kind of had to tell them, well, if something happens where he doesn't come back, hit me up, and I'd love to play with you guys. And then sure enough, a week later, they're like, your first show is tomorrow at 6. The goal, and the only goal, was to do what I love and somehow find a way to make a living doing it. So it was never, I want $1 million, or I want to be famous. It was like, man, how can I eat and sleep and just do what I love.
Yeah.
That's what I've always told kids. I was like, man, if you're doing it to be famous or to get chicks, it's gonna wear out.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's gonna like go away, and you're gonna have to, if you really love it, you're gonna have to sacrifice being cool or having the hottest car or the coolest clothes or what, you know what I mean? You have to like really sacrifice and really fall in love and be obsessive and be passionate about what you do if you want to really be great and you know what I mean?
Yep.
Take it
100%.
somewhere.
So we're hitting Hugo's for some vegan, gluten-free, paleo, all organic, non-GMO. What else? We're so LA right now. All right, we back. Electric Taco. Wow. I'm gonna keep it real. I try to go the vegan, gluten-free, LA options, and I copped out and I got some chicken. When did you get this vegan kick going for you? When did this happen and how did it happen?
Well, I was vegetarian for, man, since I was like 15 years old.
Wow.
And then when Adam and I were in the plane crash, I was in a burn center for like 5 months, and they didn't have no vegetarian options. Long story short, I wasn't eating at all when I was in there. They ended up putting a hose down my throat. I tapped out pretty quick. I think it was like 2 days of that.
Yeah.
And then I said, okay, fine, I'll eat whatever you guys will, give me. And I didn't have an option for veggie food, so I ate meat in the hospital, beef jerky. I did everything. All my homies were like, when I got out, I went and ate steak. I ate anything, anything that everyone wanted me to eat for years that I was vegetarian. I went and I was like, I honestly hate it. Just the texture, man. I just couldn't eat meat.
Yeah.
So when I was out of the hospital, I was like, man, I'm gonna take my whole kind of thing one step further and evolve, and the evolution of vegetarian would be vegan. And I ended up trying it, and I felt amazing. And then just recently, maybe about 6 months ago, I did a bunch of blood work and found out I was allergic to gluten. And now I feel 110% better than I've ever felt. Damn. Vegan, gluten-free.
Living the healthy lifestyle, and you're on the road, and not only that, you're balancing show life, studio life, and raising kids. Like, you have like I can't believe you're sitting here. Thank you for that, man. I appreciate it.
Oh,
because
man,
you got so much going on with everything. So how do you balance? What's the balance in your life? How do you balance it out?
Yeah, well, the kids have been touring with me since they were 2.
Okay.
So it's pretty easy. I bring them everywhere. There's nothing I really have to hide from them.
Yeah.
I don't do drugs and not, everything's pretty kid-friendly. So they've been around forever. They come first, that's my number one, my kids. Them learning, man, like Alabama has crazy studio etiquette, man. She picks up really quick, and she would record me a Christmas song because she doesn't have money and she doesn't have access to go and buy me anything. So she'd always give me a song. She'd sing like a Christmas song. So this year,
I might get emotional. Dude, I have a daughter now, so now I'm like,
man.
dang, that's
every
dope.
year I would just wait for it,
That's dope.
So this year they recorded at a real studio, and Landon played drums on it.
How did the clothing thing get in?
The clothing thing happened right when I was in the Aquabats and I was about to join Blink. I just had this idea, I had this vision in my head. At the time there was a lot of surf brands, there was a lot of skate brands, there was hip hop brands, but there was not one that basically represented me that was as confused as I was.
So clothing, and then you get into DJing, or is that always something that was in your blood and your background?
One time I was on tour with Blink and I got into a fight at a truck stop. Long story short, I get into a fight, I break my hand, and I go home and I buy a set of turntables. Because I couldn't do anything I couldn't play the drums. Yeah, so I just practiced scratching. It's interesting, man. It's another thing. Just like the workout we did today, applying, timing and tempo to a workout.
Yeah, that was crazy.
That's kind of like what I figured out about like scratching and stuff as I learned more. Is you can really apply rudiments and stuff from drumming or this thing and apply it to DJing, or apply tempo training that I do on a drum, apply it to actually with the battle ropes.
If I could take you back to the young Travis when you're still in like your younger years in high school and trying to figure it all out, what is the thing you wish you could tell yourself right now? And be like, now you know what you know, and go back to like young Travis and be like,
don't do drugs.
don't do drugs.
Don't do drugs. I mean,
Straight up.
Yeah,
man.
straight up. I mean,
Yeah.
it just, man, it's so hard on your body, and obviously,
Wasted time in your
yeah,
life.
wasted time. I mean, I don't regret anything, but I guess if I could take one thing back, and then you think of all our homies that you know, DJ AM, whatever, stuff like that, man. Anyone that we lost to drugs is just a shame. You work so hard to get to this certain place, and then maybe it's you're overworked, maybe it's you're not taking enough time to yourself, but it leads to, I mean, for me, it was flying and traveling, and it was actually leaving my kids because they wouldn't toward me when I was young. So I do hella drugs just to get out of my front door.
Escape
You know what I mean?
Yeah. And I feel surrounding yourself with the right people.
Yeah, man.
Like you
that's
mentioned
important, man.
earlier, you were talking like your young childhood friends were supportive. It's a long road ahead of us still, to this day right now.
Yes, sir.
There's still long. I appreciate every
Oh,
minute of your
man.
time, brother.
Much love, man. Thank you for having me.
Many more vegan tacos and definitely a scratch session
Yes,
soon.
sir, man. Let's do it.
Definitely the transform scratch session. My man, Travis
Cool, man.
Barker, Electric Taco.
Peace.
Peace. Hey, what's up? It's Vice. Thanks for watching Electric Taco. More episodes to come. More feedback from you is what I need. Comment, like, subscribe, hit me, and I'll hit you with 1,000 tacos for life. Every day. Free. No charge. Just kidding. Or not.